Jake here for Extreme Terrain, and today I'm taking a look at the Rough Country Performance Dual Exit Exhaust System with black tips, fitting 2021 and newer Broncos, excluding the Raptor. If you're looking for great sound and cool looks at an affordable price, then this system from Rough Country is going to be right up your alley. It's going to uncork your Broncos exhaust and give it a much more aggressive tone and a lot more volume than your stock system. Now for that reason, we're going to give this one a pretty solid 3 out of 5 on our loudness meter. And it is certainly going to wake up your Bronco. Passersby are sure to take notice. And it's going to do all of this for one of the best prices in the category too. Now the stock Broncos exhaust doesn't sound like a whole lot, but this Axleback is going to fix that. Whether you've got the 2.3 liter 4-cylinder or the twin turbo 2.7 V6, this is going to imbue your rig with much more character. It gives either engine more burble and a much more aggressive exhaust note, especially as the revs tend to rise. Now it's not over the top, since this is only replacing the rear factory muffler. It's going to keep the rest of your exhaust intact, downpipes, cats, all that stuff. But it is going to make a difference in the sound. Now, of course, more noise on the outside means more noise on the inside of the cabin as well. So especially if you've got the top off or down, it is going to be louder than stock in there. However, Rough Country did take great pains to make sure that this wasn't over the top inside. So you'll still be able to carry on a conversation or listen to music without having to yell or crank the stereo all the way up, and you'll get to enjoy the nice sounds that are coming out of the tips. And that's all thanks to this big old suitcase style muffler, which, as you can hear, is quite a bit of resonance in there. There's a lot less baffling than what you get on the stock system. You also get less back pressure through this, which is important for airflow, especially in turbocharged engines. Now that does mean that you're going to get an increase in power, but as with any Axleback, don't expect huge numbers here. This doesn't require you to tune it, but if you really want to take the most advantage of it, you're going to want to do some other modifications too. But for sound and clearance, this is going to be a great choice. Now capping the whole thing off are these big 4-inch black tips with the Rough Country logo etched into the top. Now one other really cool thing about this system is that the tips and the angle they sit at are adjustable. So if you've got the stock bumper or an aftermarket one, you can adjust how these sit exactly to get them right where you want them. So these pipes will sit in right here on the sides, and you can angle them up or down. So it's going to help keep your departure angle intact should you find yourself doing more hardcore off-roading, or if you want them to sit a little bit lower, make them a little bit more prominent, you can do that as well. And it's very easy to change them up because they're attached with typical exhaust clamps. Now as far as construction goes, you're getting 2.5-inch mandrel bent stainless steel piping, which is all finished off with this high temp black powder coat. So in addition to looking pretty slick, it's going to be able to withstand the elements, and it's going to resist rust and corrosion better than just bare metal would. The same goes for those tips. Like you saw earlier, these are going to have the same black powder coat, and they're going to look pretty cool once they're mounted up. These are also dual wall angle cut tips too, so they've got another layer of protection on the inside also. Pricing comes in at about $450, which makes this one of the least expensive options out there for the Bronco when it comes to an aftermarket exhaust. You're getting a good sound for your money here, some additional adjustability, and good looks too, plus it's not going to ruin your off-roading clearance. So if you want to give your Bronco an injection of character, this is a great way to get it done without spending a lot of money. You're not going to have to spend a lot of time on it either. We're going to give this one a 1 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and the job should take you about an hour, perhaps a little bit more if you spend some time fine-tuning the placement of those tips. Now since this is only an Axleback, it's not going to require you to make any modifications or do any drilling, and it's going to utilize your factory exhaust hanger locations as well. Plus you get everything you need, including the extra hanger to mount on the body, which just bolts right on in, and all the clamps that you need too. Everything is really just going to be pretty simple. It's just a matter of putting this together, bolting it right onto your truck. So with that, let's head out to the install bay and we'll walk you through the process.
For this install, you will need an impact, various ratchets, long and short extensions, 10, 13, 14, 15, and 18 millimeter sockets, a 13 millimeter wrench, a hanger removal tool, a magnet, some lubricant, and also not shown here is a pole jack or jack and jack stands.
What's up guys, today we're going to be doing an exhaust on our Bronco, but before we get started we're going to send you to watch a short video on how to uninstall your factory setup, and we'll see you when you get back.
So to remove the Axleback portion of our exhaust, we have a clamp with a 15 millimeter nut on it that we'll have to loosen up, as well as a couple hangers that we'll have to remove. So we can take a 15 millimeter socket to loosen up our nut on our clamp. Next we can pop our hanger out of our isolator using a pair of exhaust hanger remover. And now we can do the same thing on the other side for our other isolator. So now once we have all of our hangers removed, we can pull back on our muffler to remove it.
Alrighty guys, welcome back. Now that we've shown you how to remove your factory setup, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to start installing our new system. Now, if you are working on a 2.3 liter like we are, we're gonna need to remove this factory passenger side hanger isolator. So we're gonna go ahead and pop the isolator off of the bracket with our hanger removal tool. Go ahead and get that off, and we're gonna set this aside because we are gonna reuse this. So in order to access the hardware on the back side of our hanger bracket here, it is easiest to go ahead and loosen up the rear bumper so we can get to it through the rear of the frame rail. So to start things off, we're gonna remove our rear tow hooks, and we're gonna start with our 18 mil socket on our impact and go ahead and run these off. And your tow hooks also have these little plastic push pins, but you can just pop those right out. And we'll go ahead and do the same thing for this one. Just pull that out. Now we can go ahead and remove these 13 millimeter bracket bolts from each side of our bumper. So we'll grab our 13 mil socket on our ratchet. Go ahead and pop these off. So now we do have some pole jacks underneath our bumper to help give us a little bit of support once we remove this last bracket bolt. It's going to want to be flimsy, and just for safety's sake, you definitely want to have something supporting it, just as kind of a precaution. So we'll go ahead and pop this side off now. So now that we've got our bumper loosened up, we're going to go ahead and just pull back on it slightly, and there are access holes on the back of this frame rail. We're gonna go ahead and slide our 10 mil socket and extension on our ratchet. Get these bolts off. Now if you pull this back far enough, you can get a power ratchet back there. Just wanna be careful. So now we can go ahead and install our new hanger bracket here. So we have our provided hardware already threaded into the hanger bracket itself. It should come this way. So we'll go ahead and pop that into the holes. And we're gonna slide that up into its locking position. And we're gonna grab our 13 mil socket and small extension on our ratchet. We'll go ahead and tighten these down. Now we're going to go ahead and get our bumper back into position here. We'll slide that back over onto our frame rail. Now we'll go ahead and get our 13 millimeter bolts back into our outer brackets here. Make sure they line up. And we'll go ahead and get those tightened down. Again with our 13 mil socket on our ratchet. So when tightening these up, you do want to kind of push up on your bumper. Make sure your toe bracket is flush. Now we can go ahead and reinstall our tow hooks. So we'll get our center push pin back into place. Reinstall our 18 millimeter bolts. Tighten those back down again with our 18 mil socket on our impact. And once you have that done on this side, you can go ahead and repeat these same steps for the other side. Now we're going to go ahead and install our factory isolator onto our new bracket. And we are going to put a little lubricant onto our new hanger here. just to kind of help things along the way, as well as a little bit into our bracket. Go ahead and dab that up, as well as put some into our isolator here, just going to help things out. And we can go ahead and install our isolator. So now we've gone ahead and added some lubricant to our other isolator as well as our hanger rods. So we're going to go ahead and get our isolator and hanger lined up here, and go ahead and get our axle back into our factory over axle. And go ahead and work that into place. And we're going to go ahead and install our hanger onto our isolator here. And we can go ahead and do the same thing for our passenger side now. Now we're going to make sure our pipe is fully seated into our slip joint on our factory over axle here. Work that in. Then we're going to tighten down our factory clamp, again with our 15mm socket on our impact. Make sure this dowel is seated correctly on your clamp. Now we can go ahead and install our outlet pipe, so we'll grab our provided clamps. We're going to slide that over our slip joint here. We're going to take our outlet pipe, get that seated into our slip joint there. Then we're going to do the same thing for the other one, and then we'll set them along with our tips. And one thing to note here, you want your longer side of your outlet tube going to where your tips are going to be. Make sure your slip joint's fully seated. You want your pipe to be past the slots on your slip joint. Now that we have these loosely installed, we'll go ahead and get those set along with our tips. So now we're going to grab one of our tips along with our 15mm socket on our impact. We're just going to set this tip on the end of our outlet tube for now loosely. This is just so we can get our angle set, so we'll grab our socket and our impact. We're going to push our tube up. That's where we want it. Now remember, this is going to sit farther back once we fully install our tip. We're just setting our angle right now. We're going to make sure we can access our clamp on our tip. And we'll go ahead and tighten down our outlet tube clamp. Make sure that's nice and tight, and we'll do the same thing for the other side, and then we can fully install our tips. So now we'll go ahead and get our tips set. We'll push them back as far as we want them. Now you can run these a little more recessed into your bumper area, or you can have them poking out a bit. You do have a pretty good amount of adjustability with these. We're going to have our slash cuts facing up towards the top of the car. Make sure both are nice and symmetrical, and then we can go ahead and tighten these down. Now we're going to grab our 14mm socket on our ratchet and a 13mm wrench. Go ahead and tighten these tips down. Now you want to get these nice and snug, but you don't want to overdo it. Make sure they feel nice and secure. Then we'll go ahead and tighten our other one down. Alrighty guys, that about wraps up our review and install of our Rough Country Performance Dual Exit Exhaust System with black tips for your 21 to current Bronco, excluding the Raptor. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything Bronco, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.